Today I want to do a deep dive on Vladdy Jr., a little case study on when I believe he's moving at his best and what I think he needs to do in order to have a better season than he had in 2021. So just for reference, at the time of making this video, Vladdy's probably the hottest hitter in baseball at the moment. He's on a 22-game hit streak, and he's leading the league in hard-hit baseballs.
Vlad is now hitting .507 with 10 home runs, 11 doubles, and a triple during his 20-game hitting streak. This is crazy. 22 RBIs as well.
This is as close as he has been to his 2021 season. He's currently hitting a .322 batting average with an OPS of .942. In 2021, he hit a .311 batting average with 1,002 OPS. So crazy numbers in 2021. The issue is everybody expected that to continue. Vladdy being who he is, his dad being who he is, people's expectations of him were extremely high. And those are great seasons. Any average MLB player would die to have a season like that. However, Vladdy being who he is, he has to live up to a standard that's so much higher than most of these other guys. So let's go ahead and let's dive into Vladdy's swing. I believe every player typically has one or two things that naturally want to come undone in their swing. And if the player isn't aware of them, or if they're not constantly working on them, then a lot of times those problems and inconsistencies will continue to show up within their swing. So I want to show you this video here of MLB Network and how Vladdy's launch angle changes and how it changes his numbers. Vladdy's naturally a steep hitter. Check this out.
Blitz. He's nearly doubled his launch angle in that span. He was at 6 degrees this season before this stretch, and now 13 degrees during the hot streak, during that 20-game hitting streak. The Major League average is 12 degrees. Now, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., guys.
So now you can see where I'm going with this one. As Vladdy increases his launch angle, all of his numbers become way more efficient. And you might say 87 at-bats isn't that many at-bats. It really is a pretty good sample size. It'll probably end up being about an eighth of his season. And the thing that we do have enough sample size of is the time that Vladdy's been in the league. This attack angle, this launch angle that's really steep towards the baseball isn't foreign to Vladdy's swing. This is something that he's going to have to continue to work through. And obviously when he gets that number somewhere between the 10 to 14 range on average, he swings much better. His numbers are way more efficient. And so before I get into some swings, I just got two more points. In 2021, Vladdy led the league in home runs with the lowest launch angle. And since he's been in the league, all of his seasons, he has been above the league average in ground ball percentage. And so just for reference, I'm going to put up a video that shows good bat path. Notice on the swing by Freddie Freeman, the tip of his bat almost points to the flight of the baseball. That's what I would call perfect on bat path. Vladdy being steep, typically what you'll see is either hard ground balls or you'll see him clip the baseball, the ball will go up, and his bat will swing down through the bottom of the baseball. Here's a really good example of Vladdy getting steep on a curveball. He hits it for a home run, but you can see the bat goes down through the ground instead of up through the ball flight. So in Vladdy's case, there's a couple things that I would look into. First, you can see that he's shifting his weight into his front foot very heavily. A lot of times this will make your bat path steep without you realizing it. Next, I'd want to look at how well is he maintaining his connection to his back shoulder, his back hip, and his foot connecting to the ground. We already know he's shifting to his front leg, so the tension to his back hip and his foot connected to the ground probably isn't being maintained long enough. The last thing I would look at Vladdy is controlling his bat tip a little better. Obviously, when Vladdy makes his bat tip, his barrel makes a move behind him such as this, and when he does that, it flattens out his launch angle. It makes it harder to hit the lower pitch. So if he would keep a little bit more vertical angle and create more of a turn rather than a move such like this, it'll make it a little easier to get to that low ball, and it would actually increase his launch angle. So now let's look at some clips when Vladdy's hot. And remember what I said earlier. Notice in this swing, he keeps his back foot connected to the ground. And what this does for a player is it keeps him from shifting his weight to his front side, and it also increases his launch angle from swinging from a deeper position. So too, obviously he's swinging more from a rear leg here than he is from a front leg. Understand, you have to figure out how to be balanced. He might feel like he's swinging off of his back leg in order to feel balanced because he's so used to swinging from his front leg. Let's wrap this up. Vladdy is obviously having a great season. He's a generational talent. It's in his blood. So don't think the goal of this video was to get on here and tell an MLB guy how to hit. Vladdy is a freak show. He'll be better than most players to ever play this game. The reason I made this video is because I want to show you guys how to identify root problems and how to work backwards in order to try and self-correct those problems. So just based on video and the data that we pulled about Vladdy's launch angle, about his ground ball percentage since he's been in the league, all the solutions we came up with were oriented to increasing his bat angle, creating a tighter turn, allowing him to turn deeper versus turn onto that front foot and that front side so that he could create a much better launch angle towards the baseball that would give him a better bat path. And this is exactly how you should look at your swing. Through data, through video, find the root cause of your problem and come up with solutions by doing the opposite of what the problem is. We call this overcorrecting the problem. And if Vladdy continues to overcorrect his problem, he's going to continue to dominate this season.